Hey friends, it's Jessica, and today I'm flying solo. I mean, that literally and metaphorically, because we're talking about helicopter parenting. Yep, I said it. I've hovered, I've micromanaged, I've protected, and I've questioned every scraped knee and missed homework assignment like it was a national emergency. But I've I've learned along the way that it's maybe time to land that chopper and let my kids take the wheel. In this episode, I'm pulling back the curtain on what it really means to feel like to be an overprotective parent, where the fear comes from, and how I'm learning slowly but surely to back off and let my kids grow on their own terms. If you've ever found yourself Googling, can my kids survive without me packing their lunch? This one's for you. Hey friends, today we're discussing should I land the helicopter? Because basically, I am a helicopter parent. Did I set out to be? No, I just ended up being one. A helicopter parent, defined, would become constantly solving your children's problems, making decisions for teens, preventing consequences, like, well, we'll get into that. Hovering over them, which is the helicopter part of that, I guess, controlling their lives. Um, and, we do it because we love them and we don't want to see them suffer. And it's out of an abundance of love. But in the end, it's really hurting them in the end, is what I'm finding out. And I feel as though I failed my kids in some way, especially one, I guess, in particular. But okay, so here's a story. So my son, one time, I was I had a daycare from my house, and we built on to the home, and I could hear my son screaming, "Mom, Mom!" And I, of course, throw everything down, run to the room, run, and he's on his bunk bed, the bottom bunk bed, and he's laying down watching cartoons, and his sippy cup was on a table next to him, but he couldn't reach it. He said, "I can't reach my sippy cup." And I'm like, I should have said, "Boy, sit up and grab it yourself." But of course, I scooched it towards him. Yeah, I did. I just always remember that thing, and I just can't believe I scooched it towards him. I'm like, "Here you go, sweetheart." And I go, then I'd say, "Next time, just get it yourself." But of course, I got it for him. And I feel as though I have been a helicopter parent for my children because, they have special needs, and I felt like they needed me more than most parents need, or most children need their parents. My son had lots of IEPs. All my kids, my stepdaughter, my son, and my daughter. My daughter still is in high school. She's in high school now, so she still has an IEP. But I feel as though my kids have always looked at me as the boss, like even over their teachers. I'm sure that probably annoyed my son's teachers. Like his kindergarten year, because I was really good with preschool, arts and crafts and all that stuff because I owned a school. I was at his school helping out as a teacher in the back room, and my son wouldn't listen to one thing that his teacher was telling him because I was in the room. And he came over to me. He goes, "Mom, I'm not listening to her because you're the boss, right?" I'm like, "No, Parker, your teacher's the boss." But he wouldn't listen or do anything if I was there. So I realized early on that I couldn't even help out in his classrooms and be a participant in the room because I was too much of a distraction. And he wasn't learning that, the adults that are caring for you throughout the day are in charge, not me. It got so difficult that in his IEP, his 5th grade year, I had advocated for it a few years earlier, but they kept saying no. But his 5th grade year, I demanded that he be allowed to have a cell phone at school so that he could call me, because if something wasn't going right, he would have to call me to tell me what was not right in his day. And as soon as he told me, he was able to continue his day without too many interruptions or outbursts. He just needed that connection to me in the middle of the day. And as soon as he got it, he was fine. But, and a cell phone, it ended up working and helping relieve that anxiety he was having during those times in his younger years of school. But, now, and the other thing that I did that I regret as a parent is I let them watch too much video games. My son, he's still doing it to this day. And, most kids like him feel as though they're going to make it big creating or playing or YouTubing video games. He now knows that that's not going to happen for him, but that's his dream in high school all the way through, young adolescence, and was taking over his desire to go to college because he thought he was going to be one of these influencers or, gamers, so to speak. But beyond that, I used to always say, oh, my son, he doesn't play the shoot 'em up games because he doesn't like the blood and the guts and all the, he's a Dungeon and Dragons kind of guy, but he doesn't like all that stuff. Well, he still doesn't like it too much, but he does. I mean, I'm not a fool. He does play those type of video games. But for the longest time when he was younger, it was all Mario Kart and just young, cute little kids, Donkey Kong and all that stuff. I mean, well, Donkey Kong was my error, but I know that there was a form of Donkey Kong in one of his games. Anyways, so, but I think the video games that we allowed our kids to play, these millennials, or no, he's a Gen Zer. Yeah, because he's 24. But it's, I think it ruined them. My son was playing video games in the car and not paying attention where we were driving. He doesn't know how to get around anywhere in our town, and he doesn't know how to drive because he wasn't paying attention. When we were younger, we watched mom and dad drive. We saw them shift. We saw them put the blinkers on, and we watched them do what they did. And so when we learned how to drive almost before it was time to drive. Now these kids, none of them want to drive. I'm not the only one. I know a lot of other parents that have kids that the kids don't want to drive. It's insane. I don't know if it's an anxiety thing or, they have YouTube videos. Now they can see what happens in a car crash. Before we just, had an idea of what it would be like to be in a car crash. And now these kids can see what it's like to have a collision, or the blood and the gore is out there now and the kids are seeing it when we never had seen it. I don't know. I guess I'm just questioning if that's a thing. Are there other people out there? Listen up, podcast friends. Are any of you experiencing any of the same type of stuff that I'm talking about? Let's go to my website and send me an email, and we'll talk about it more. In fact, I'm going to have on my next episode, I'm having Sue Danel come onto my show, and she is a parenting coach and expert, and she's going to walk me through my woes of parenting. I have this whole thing about helicopter parents, and she's like, well, maybe we should just have a session for you because I am a helicopter parent. I'm probably the worst out there. I mean, I'm serious. It's terrible. I know. Okay, here's the other thing. My mom and dad made me do chores, lots of them. I mean, I had to clean the kitchen. I had to clean the bathroom, my bedroom. I had to vacuum and dust. Those are my chores. My brother had to mow the lawns, and he had to take out the trash and feed the dogs. That was my brother. My little sister, she didn't have to do anything until she was older, way older, which is fine. She was 4 years younger than me. It's not her fault that she was young. But my older sister, she was out before. Well, my older sister had her set of chores, and she also had to babysit all of us kids. But she took off as soon as she graduated high school. She was out, and she's 4 years older than me. So around just before my 8th grade, she was gone. And so what I'm getting at is my parents, I was not only did I have to do those chores every week, but I had to go into the backyard and pull weeds. I had to clean smushed apricots out of the grass into the trash can because they would drop, and then the dogs would step on them, or we would step on them, and they'd get smushed into the grass. And then I had to scoop them out with my hands. It was torture. And I had those type of things to keep me grounded in what it took to, run a house of my own, what it meant to clean up after myself and do my own laundry. That's the other thing I had to do. We did our own laundry. And also my mom spent a lot of time in the hospital. Poor thing. I mean, read my book. It's in my book, all about my mom. And then when she wasn't in a hospital, she was in a hospital bed in the living room. And so I had to do a lot of the cooking for the family. Like my sophomore, freshman, my freshman, sophomore, junior year, some of my senior year, almost all through high school. So I learned to cook. So that's another thing. I did to cook and do the dishes, and then do the dessert dishes afterwards. So, but I'm going off on a tangent, but what I'm trying to say is my kids, they don't have to do anything except for maybe their room. And even then I go in and I help. So that's part of my helicopter parenting. I go in and I'll help them organize and put things away in an organized fashion. I clean their bathrooms. I don't know. I mean, my son's now starting to empty the dishes. I know it's terrible. He's 24 and he's now emptied the dishes and he's taken out the trash, but I have to remind him, and my daughter doesn't do anything. When I go grocery shopping, she'll take the stuff out of the bags for me and take some things to the bedroom, or put some things away, like in the garage and whatnot. But I need to get her doing chores. Like, I'm not helping her, I'm hurting her. And I feel as though I'm also, I was talking to Sue Danel, and she said it's actually a selfish thing that you're doing, because I'm feeling the need of my own wanting to it makes me feel good to take care of them. And so I'm feeling my own personal needs over their growth and development. And so I think my answer to my question, should I land the helicopter, is yes, unless it's too late. I mean, they're still living with me. That's the other thing. Failure to launch for my son. I mean, it's a thing, dude. He's still living at home. And yeah, that's my fault too. It doesn't make my husband happy, but my son, I can't be a helicopter parent and then make him jump out the plane when he doesn't know how, or have a parachute to help him land. So my goal now, I'm hoping that Sue will help me. We're going to do an episode where she's going to help me coach through my parenting. And so you're going to see maybe what she has to say about all this, which is kind of nice. But I thought I'd just come on and give everybody kind of an idea of what this next episode is going to be about. And are there other people out there that are like me? I mean, is my story resonating with anybody out there? Go to my website and send me an email, or send me an email at Jess saying, it's all one word, JESSSAYING at att.net, and drop me an email and tell me if you feel the same way. I mean, I guess I don't know what else to say, but I don't think we're doing our kids a service, out there. These kids are growing up and they don't want to leave home. They don't know how to cook a meal. My son can cook an egg. I taught him that. He does know how to cook an egg. And and microwave. He's great at microwaving things. But I'm not teaching my son the life skills he needs. He doesn't even know what a checkbook is, I don't think. We're not teaching the kids. I think I need to get my son a life coach is what it is. We're not teaching them the life skills they need to grow up and be on their own. I mean, some of us are. One of my good friends, Jackie and Janelle, their kids are freaking amazing. Like, you look at them and I'm like, oh my God, they're so amazing. They're like going to nursing school, or they're just awesome. And their kids are beautiful. And, and here are my kids. They can't leave the house. So I did something wrong. And I don't know exactly how I did it and how I can fix it. I need help. So maybe I'm out there, anybody out there listening, if you can help me, please email me. Help me coach my kids back for independence. That's what I'm saying. That's what I want. Help me coach my kids and help me be a better parent. I mean, my kids are wanting for nothing. They get whatever they want, which is also probably part of the problem. But they're not independent they can't take care of themselves. So I did something wrong, and I don't know what, and I don't know why. Did I do it because I didn't feel loved when I was younger and I wanted to make sure that I told them I loved them every single day of their life, which I do? Or is it because, I didn't know how to parent? I don't know. Or I wanted to do it different than my parents, thinking that I knew best, and actually they knew best. They actually did a good job, and I never really thanked them for that. They did a great job. And read my book, you'll understand what I mean, because throughout the book, I talk crap about my mom, and then at the end, I realized, my mistakes, and I gave my mom the grace that she deserved, and I understood her a little bit better. And so, get the book. It's a easy read. It's kind of funny, but well, shit. Okay, so I don't want to get off on a tangent. So I guess I answered my question. I need to land the helicopter. If there's anybody out there, I guess this is like a request for help. Hopefully in this next episode, Sue is going to help me, and we're going to get down to the nitty gritty of it all. And maybe we'll get some insights. So stay tuned. Listen to the next episode. I appreciate you guys giving me this short little brief time to rant, and you guys stay safe out there. All right. Take care.